We need to make sure that our truck and trailer is on plain ground, and we need to make sure that our vehicle is secure. So how can we secure it? By putting two wheel chocks. If it is on a plain ground, we put two wheel chocks, one in the front, one in the back. If it is an uphill, gonna put both the wheel chocks at the behind of the trailer tires, and if it is a downhill, gonna put it in front. After that, we need to make sure that both our brakes are pulled out and the key should be in my pocket because I don't want any incidents to happen later on. Then after that, we're gonna open up the hood and latch these latches on both sides. Put one foot here and I pull it with both hands. Once you're up to here, put your other hand here so that it stops nice and easy. Now we already start from the driver's side. First thing, you need to check for fluids. Always starting with the engine oil. Here is the dipstick. We're gonna pull it out. Check the engine oil level is enough. There is no damage, no leakage. And if the oil level is less, then we can add more oil from here. Make sure that after you add it up, the cap is tight and closed. Second, right here it is written, that's your power steering fluid. Need to check the level is enough. It is properly mounted, secure, no damage or leakage around it, and the cap is tight. Third fluid right here is your windshield washer fluid. Should be minimum 75% full. It has to be properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage, and the cap should be tight. The fourth fluid is on the other side. That's the engine coolant. So when we go on the passenger side, that time we will check. Now, there is no set sequence, but if you start from the top and go to the bottom, chances are you are not going to miss anything. So starting from here, if I come here, I can see all those air lines, electrical lines. They are all good, intact, no damage, no leakage from the airlines. Come here, my air filter is properly mounted, secure. All the latches are closed, properly mounted and secure. My main engine block, I don't see any shiny parts around it. All the bolts are tight, no damage, no leakage from the engine block. All these hoses are properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. All the clamps are tight. Come in here, all these hoses, you're just gonna touch it. Make sure that there is no damage or leakage from these hoses. My radiator is properly mounted, secure, no damage or leakage in here. Come in here, all my fan blades are present, no damaged or missing fan blade. We can talk about the belts from here, but it's easier when we talk from the other side. Come in here, that's my air compressor, properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. Come in here. Now, this is my steering rod. Straight, not bent, no extra play, no damage. It is connected by those universal joints. They're all good, intact, no damage. My main steering box, all the bolts are tight. Don't see any shiny parts around it. No damage, no leakage, because all this oil is running inside that box. Along with that, this is connected to it. This is called the pitman arm. It's properly mounted. All the bolts are tight. No bent, no damage. The drag link has no damage. Properly connected. All three of my castle nuts right here. The castle nuts are tight and the quarter pin is present. Make sure you talk about the quarter pins. Then come in here. That's my main frame. The main frame is straight, not bent, no damage, no illegal drills, holes or weldings in it. No crack, looks intact. Come in here. What's my shock absorber is properly mounted. All the bolts are tight. Shock absorber is straight, no bent, no damage or no leakage because there is hydraulic oil running in it. Right here is my leaf springs. Leaf springs are in place, properly mounted, no cracks in between, and the U-bolts are tight. My oil filter and my fuel filter are properly mounted, secure, no damage or leakage from it. Here is my brake chamber. It is properly mounted, secure, no damage or leakage from it. All my air lines, ABS lines, no damage, no leakage. My slack adjuster and my push rod are at 90 degrees. Now, since you are here, you can talk about the tires. Starting from the inside of the rim, no crack, no damages. Inside of the tire, no CBC. That means no cuts, no bulges, no cracks. Top of the tire are evenly worn, minimum 3.2 millimeters tread depth and adequate air pressure. Outside of the tire, no CBC. That means no cuts, no bulges, no cracks. The tire is sitting properly onto the rim. The rim has no cracks or damages. All the lug nuts, make sure you touch all of them. All the lug nuts are present and tight. How do I know? Because I don't see any shiny parts around it. So all the lug nuts are tight. Talking about the hub is secure. Hub nuts are all tight. Hub oil is adequate. Hub seal is present and there is no leakage. And there is my air stem cap with the metal stem cap is present. Here is my headlight assembly. It's properly mounted, secure, no damage. And all the electrical connections are good. There are few other things, like you can talk about the radiator mounts, the springs, and the hood latch. But if you have time, gonna talk about it. You need to time yourself because the main important accessories you need to talk about. Do we miss anything? The main axle, we can see it from here. There is no damage. So that covers almost everything from this side. Let's go on to the other side. Remember, we checked 3 fluids on the other side. So first, always start with your last fluid, which is the engine coolant. The reservoir is properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. Level is full and the caps are tight. Then you can start, that's your air intake grill. It's properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. All these air-to-air hoses are secured, no damage, no leakage. All the clamps are tight. Here is my turbo, properly mounted, secure. No damage, no leakage. From this side of the engine block, I don't see any damages or oil leaks. My alternator is properly mounted. All the bolts are tight, no damage. Electrical connections are all good. See, this side, it's easier to talk about the fan belts. The fan belts, you have to say there are no cuts, no cracks. They are not twisted and enough tension. Right next to it, my fan blades. From this side, I can see all the fan blades are present, no damage or missing fan blade. From this side of the radiator, I don't see any damage or any leakages. Here, my headlight assembly for the right side is properly mounted, secured, no damage. All the electrical connections are good. Come in here, my main frame from this side is straight, not bent. No illegal drills, holes or weldings, no cracks. My shock absorber is straight, no bent, no damage, and no leakage. Leaf springs are in place, intact, no cracks. U-bolts are tight. Axle from this side looks okay, no damage to it. My brake chamber, properly mounted, secure, no damage, no audible air leak. Air lines, ABS lines, no damage, no audible air leak. Then inside of the rim, no cracks, no damages. Inside of the tire, no CBC. Top of the tire, evenly worn, minimum 3.2 millimeter tread depth and adequate air. Then on the outside of the tire, no CBC. The tire is sitting properly onto the rim. The rim has no crack, no damages. All the lug nuts are tight. Hub is secure, hub nuts are tight. Adequate hub oil. Hub seal is present, no leakage. And metal stem cap is present. That's about it. Now you can close the hood. For uncoupling, again, first thing, I need to make sure that my wheels are chalked. My truck and trailer is on a plain ground. One chalk in the front, one in the back, because we need our vehicle to be secured. Because now, with this process, what we are doing, we are disconnecting the tractor from the trailer. So that's the first step. Number 2, you need to bring the 2 landing gears down. So once you turn it clockwise, these landing gears will go down. Once they touch the, you need to disconnect all 3 cables, the 2 air and the electrical, and make sure that you store them away here. Now, number 4, you need to pull the pin out, which is in between these 4 tires. That's how I relate it to them. Put one foot here and then just pull it. Make sure that the pin is out, this bolt is out, and you also need to go underneath to make sure that your jaws are open. Now, once we have done that, step number 4 is done. Now, step 5 is we need to move the 5th wheel just about 1.5 to 2 feet. Need to make sure that when we pull the truck, the 5th wheel stays under the trailer, and then we'll come out and check whether it is disconnected or not. So let me just move it a little bit.
No hay que hacerle nada de eso.
Just move it a little bit. 5th wheel is still under the trailer. Just it moves out just a little bit. That's good. How can you relate it to when you're checking in the mirror? When the first tire is about 3/4 out from the trailer, that's where we'll stop. We'll come here and check that my kingpin is disconnected from the 5th wheel, and still our landing gear is free. It's not, it is touching the ground, but still free. All the weight is on the 5th wheel. Now we're gonna go and drop the suspension down.
Ahora va a bajar la suspensión de aire.
Light in between the 5th wheel and the trailer.
Si tú ves luz allá es porque está bueno.
And now if you come here and check, all the trailer weight is on the landing gear. So it's sitting properly on its own legs. And we are disconnected safely. For this, we're going to move it forward about 10 to 15 feet. Stop and then raise the airbag.
Ahora se va a mover hacia adelante para dejar espacio y quedar bien desconectado. Y allá arriba, allá adelante, levanta la suspensión de aire. Y luego se viene a hacer acá la inspección del trailer.
Turn on my hazard lights, the forward flashers, and I also turn on my work lights. They're also called the utility lamps. So now I'm going to start from here. I should have my hammer in my hand. Esther, where did you put them? So that I don't have to, where I cannot reach, that's where I can point it. So starting from here, even though it's called Fender to Fender, but since I'm here, so I'm going to cover the whole thing, because that whole part is going to go under the trailer. So starting from here, my left fin is properly mounted, secured, no damage. My left signal is working. My left utility lamp is working. Coming here, my steps are properly mounted, secured, no damage. No oil, grease, ice or snow on it, which makes it slippery. Right here is my air dryer, which is properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. My governor is properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. Now, going up, you can show 3-point contact. My lamp is properly secured, no damage, no oil, no grease, no ice, snow. Starting from here, back of my truck body, no damage. Student driver sign is visible and clean. Both my reflector tapes are present and clean. The Basco is properly mounted, secure, no damage. Grab handles are secure, no damage. Spring for holding my airlines and electrical lines is working properly, no damage. My airlines, electrical lines are all good, no damage, no leakage. My muffler is properly mounted, secure, no damage and no leakage. Coming down here, there are 2 airbags are properly inflated, no damage, no audible air leak. My shock absorbers are all good. On this side, I can see my drive shaft is intact, no damage, no leakage. My air tanks, I cannot see, can't hear any audible air leak, no visible damage. It's all good. All the electrical lines, air lines are all good. Turn around. Same drive shaft is good, no damage. Universal joints are all good. All my air lines, electrical lines are intact, no visible damage, no audible air leak. Coming here, that's my front differential, properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. My torsion bar is straight, no visible damage, no leakage. Universal joints are all good, no visible damage. The rails for my 5th wheel are properly mounted, all the bolts are tight, no damage. Now you can get back down. That's my front mud flap, properly mounted, secure, no damage. Now here is the part where I can save some time by grouping things up. So I will check all 4 tires properly inflated. All 4 tires are evenly worn. All 4 tires have minimum 1.6 millimeter tread depth. Then both these tires from the inside, the dust cover is present, the rims, no cracks, no damages. Inside of the tires, no CBC. Outside of the tires, all 4, no CBC. Between the tires, there are no rock, chip, debris or anything, no obstructions. Outside of both the tires, no CBC. Both these tires are sitting properly onto the rim, and both these rims have no cracks or damages. Now come in here, all the lug nuts are tight and present. All the hub nuts are tight. Hub is secure, properly mounted, no damage, no leakage, and 2 metal stand caps, one here, are present, no audible air leak. Same is with this one. All the lug nuts are tight, present. Hub is secure. All the hub nuts are tight, no damage or leakage from the hub. 2 metal stand caps are present. Now, coming in between here, what I can see, 2 shock absorbers, straight, no bent, no damage, no leakage. 2 airbags, properly inflated, no audible air leak, no damage. 2 of my leaf springs, no cracks, no damages. All 4 of my 2 bolts are tight. Brake chamber, this one and this one, properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage. And the brakes, these ones are not caged. Coming out, my main frame is straight, no bend, no cracks, no illegal drills, welds or holes. I'm here, my left rear mud flap is properly mounted, secure, no damage, and the DOD tape is 100% present. Both my hazard lights on the truck is working. Mind it, we will check the trailer lights and all later on. I'm in here, all my electrical lines, trailer lines are all good, no damage, no other rear differential is properly mounted, secure, no damage, push bar is straight, no damage. Safety we can talk about later on. Right mud flap, properly mounted, secure, DOD tape 100% present. Exactly same day, now check all these. All 4 tires properly inflated. All 4 tires are evenly worn. All 4 tires minimum tread depth 1.6 millimeter. Inside of the rims, dust covers are present. Rims, no cracks, no cuts, no damages. Inside of the tires, no CBC, that means no cuts, no bulges, no cracks. Nothing in between the tires. Inside of the tires, no CBC. Outside of the tires, no CBC. Both the tires are properly sitting onto the rim, and both these rims have no cracks or damages. All the lug nuts are tight and present. All the hub nuts are tight. Hub is secure, properly mounted, no damage, no leakage. 2 metal stand caps are present. All the lug nuts are tight on this one. Hub nuts are tight. Hub is properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage, and 2 metal stand caps are present. Getting in here, 2 shock absorbers, both of them straight, no bend, no damage, no leakage. Both the airbags properly inflated, no damage, no audible air leak. Both the leaf springs are good, no crack, no damage. All 4 U-bolts are tight, and brake chamber, this one and that one, properly mounted, secure, no audible air leak, no damage. This one is not even caged. From this side, main frame, no bent, straight, no damage, no cracks, no illegal drills, holes or weldings. Here, my right front mud flap is properly mounted, secure. Toolbox is secure, no damage. Right fin is properly mounted, secure, no damage. Right signal is working, and the utility lamp is working.
What about the fifth wheel? Are we going to do anything with the fifth wheel?
Yes, this was the fender to fender. Now, we're gonna do the coupling process. So for coupling, first of all, if you guys remember, when we were doing fender to fender, I did say we're gonna talk about the fifth wheel later on. So there are some details which we need to talk before coupling a trailer. So we come here, first of all, we see there's no crack or damage on the plate of the fifth wheel. There is enough grease on it. The jaws are open, and the fifth wheel is tilted towards the back. And also need to make sure that the pin is out, the bolt is out. Now, going back to the trailer, which we are going to hook. First thing, front of the trailer, no visible damage, all good. card holder is intact. Document holder is good. No damage. Both my rag hands are properly mounted, secure. The rubbers are good. Both the air lines and the electrical lines are intact, no visible damage. My 7-pin connector is good. No damage. My CVIP for the trailer, the one which I'm hooking up, it is present and valid. We will make sure and check it along with the paperwork when we are inside. Now, getting in here, make sure that my the kingpin is straight, no bent, no damages, and has got enough grease. And this part, which is called the apron, should not have any cracks or damages and should have enough grease. After that, I go in between my truck and trailer, and I need to make sure there are no pedestrians, no vehicles, no overhanging power lines, so that I'm okay to back up. Okay.
Ahora él se va a montar, va a prender el camión, va a bajar la suspensión de aire y va a venir aquí. Y luego va a revisar si el kingpin está alineado con la quinta rueda. Si está alineado, si todo está bien, lo sube. Y luego vuelve al camión y acelera de para atrás y lo mete. Y luego lo acelera un poquito hacia adelante.
Pin is out, still. And then you're going to go inside and make sure that the kingpin is aligned with the 15. You can come up in here and check.
The ball is out and esta es una buena medida para saber que está alineado. Luego va a entrar al camión y va a subir la suspensión. Y luego va a acelerar hacia atrás para que quede el acople perfecto. Y luego acelera hacia adelante para asegurarse de que ha trancado. Y luego viene y hace la conexión de las líneas eléctricas y de aire. Y luego viene a alzar acá el landing engine. Sería el segundo, el penúltimo paso.
Coupling is done. Left signal is on. Utility lamps, I have shut it off. And I have turned on all the headlights. Because now we are going to do the 360, the outside pre-trip. That's why we have our left signal on, headlights are on. Now we can start from the front, from the top to the bottom, so that we do not miss anything. So starting from here, top of my truck has no visible damage. Student driver sign is visible and clean. Then coming down, all 5 of my marker lights or the clearance lights are working. Underneath that, my windshield has no cracks or no chips. Wipers are at the rest position. Top of the hood, no visible damage. The hood is properly latched. My grill is intact, no damage. License plate is clean, properly mounted. We will match it with the paperwork later on. My front bumper is intact, no visible damage. Both my low beams are working and there is no leakage or obstruction under my truck. Now I'll go counterclockwise. Starting from here, we already talked about the low beam. We will check the high beam when we finish it here. My left signal light is working. Hood mirror is properly installed, properly mounted, secure, no damage. Lens is clean. Front fender properly mounted, secure, no damage. Hood is latched. My side mirror properly mounted, secure, no damage. Lenses are clean. My truck CVIP is present and valid. We'll match it with the paperwork. Company logo is present and clean. Left signal light is working. The door opening, closing properly. The door hinges are all good, no damage. When I open that, I'm gonna check three F's. The fire extinguisher, it has to be present, valid, fully charged. The pin should be present. And my first aid kit and the safety triangles, those are in my storage compartment. We will check it over there. My grab handles are all good, properly mounted, secure. Door is locking properly. My footsteps secure, no damage. Battery box is right underneath it. Once in a week or 2 weeks, I'll open it up, check for the corrosion. Batteries are properly installed, no bulging, and the connections are all good. We don't have to check it every day, but once in a week. Come here, Side of my tractor body, no visible damage. All the stickers are present. My storage compartment opening and closing properly. Hinges are all good. Here are my safety triangles. Minimum 2 we should have. And here's my brand new first aid kit. Other things I might use it for my other jobs. Doors properly matching. My fuel tank. There are a few things you need to talk about. Fuel tank is properly mounted, secure. Both the straps are intact. Rubber is present so that there is no metal to metal contact. No visible damage or leakage underneath. And the cap is tight. Okay, after this, we have covered all this area, so we don't need to worry about it. But starting from the trailer, over there, that's my trailer marker light. So make sure you talk about that, because if you don't talk about that, there are points for that. So the trailer marker light is present and working. Here, my trailer marker light is working. I have got the DOT tape, minimum 50% on the side, on the trailer body. Already talked about the CVIP sticker. Trailer body has no visible damage, all good. Come in here, my landing gear assembly. There are a few things you need to talk about. Landing gear assembly is properly mounted, secure. The leg is straight, foot has a play in it. Landing gear handle is stored away, and the connecting rod is present and working. So while you are here, you can talk about all these cross members. These are called the cross members. So all these cross members are good, no damage, and the floor of the trailer is also good. There is no damage to it. Now here, that's again my trailer marker light working. Another trailer marker light working. Left signal light is working. Placard holders is intact. Trailer marker light is working. Now we're gonna go in here. We'll have to talk about, first of all, these air lines, electrical lines, they should be at least 18 inches above the ground. It could be more, but they have to be at least 18 inches. Now, once we came here, there are so many details we need to talk about. If you guys want to come in, the axles, we can see, they are intact, no damage. Both the brake chambers are good, no damage, no leakage. All the air lines are intact, no damage, no leakage. Both the brake chambers are not caged. My leaf springs on both sides, no cracks, no damages. Both the U-bolts are tight. From the inside of the tires, I can see both sides that the dust cover is present. The rims, no cracks, no damages. Both sides inside tires, I don't see any CBC, no cracks, no bulges, no cuts. The air tank for the trailer is properly mounted, secure, no visible damage, no audible air leak. Come on out now. From this side we are done, but there is another axle which we can go from the back. Come in here, a lot of people did this. These two pins, these are called the bogey pins. One here and one over there. These pins, you need to mention that they are present and they are out. When they are out, the axle for the trailer is locked. Remember when I was still teaching you, man, these axles are used to, these pins are used to move the axles to adjust the weight on the trailer. Come in here, same thing. The way we did those duals, there are so many details on these trailer tires. First, we're gonna check all 4 tires air pressure. They all are evenly worn. Minimum, how much?
1.6
millimeters tread depth. Inside we have already checked. We're gonna check like this, that there is nothing in between the tires. Outside of the tires, no CBC. Both the tires are sitting properly onto the rim. Both the rims have no cracks, no damages. Come in here, all the lug nuts are tight. All the hub nuts are tight. Hub is secure. Now, if you guys come here closer, you can see the oil. That's the hub oil. Can you see it?
Yeah, so
Yeah. So you need to talk about that. Hub oil is adequate, hub seal is present, and there is no leakage. And at the same time, there should be 2 metal stamp caps, one here, one over there. Okay, same way in that next, you can see here the hub oil, hub seal is present, all the lug nuts should be tight, all the hub nuts should be tight, hub is secure, no damage, no leakage. Both the metal stamp caps are present.
you would hit this with the hammer as well too.
Yes. My rear mud flap is secure, no damage. Now, over here, it's the exact same things what we kept from there. Here, there's the rear axle, properly mounted, secure, no damage. Both the brake chambers are secure, no damage, no audible air leak, not caged. All the air lines are intact, no damage, no air leak. Both the leaf springs are secure, no cracks. Usually we find the cracks right here in between the two U-bolts because that's where you tight it. So U-bolts are both tight. Air tank, the other one, is properly mounted, secure, no damage, no audible air leak. Both these tires from inside, the dust covers are present. Rims have no cracks, no damages. Inside of the tires, no CBC. And that's about it here. Let's go out. So we were done up till here. Now here, you can't talk about the hook. That's for the locking the door when you open it. My trailer marker light is working. Now, coming at the back, you are also when you get, but again, like what we did in the beginning from the front, same thing. You're gonna start from the top. 5 marker lights are working. The doors, that right one, right one. Sometimes it's just that connection. We need to let the mechanic know so that he can fix it. Okay, the doors are intact. All the hinges on the doors are safe, no damage, no rusty parts, so that the door doesn't come up. If I have a load inside, remember in the classroom that you have to talk about the load security. In the test, we usually have empty trailers, so you're going to tell them that if I have a load, I'm going to open the doors and check for the load securement, if there is a load. And when you are closing it, make sure both the hinges from the top and the bottom are locked. Now, the DOT tape, 100% present here as well as here on the bumper. Come in here, my left signal light is working, right? All my tail lights, these are called the tail lights. All my tail lights are working. My license plate is intact, properly mounted, secure, clean. We'll match it with the paperwork later on. The license plate light is working. Bumper is secure. It has got 100% DOT tape present. At this time, you will tell the examiner that I'm going to go inside and I will show you my brake lights and my hazard lights. So you can stop it here now because I have got a question. How that same way symmetrical from the left side, but there are a few differences, and I guess we did discuss it in the class. You won't see the safety sticker on both sides. It will be only on one side. You won't see the ABS lights on both sides. It will be only on one side. You will not be able to see the landing gear handle on both sides. It will be only on one side. And if it is not a classic truck, if it is not a big Peterbilt or Kenworth, you will have the exhaust only on one side. So these are the few basic differences, but besides that, everything is same. So let's continue on. Right signal is on, right marker light is working, the DOT tape is minimum 50% present, outside of the body, no damage, it's all good, intact. Right mud flap is working, it's properly mounted, intact, no damage. Inside, we have checked everything. From the outside, same exact way. We have to tap all 4 tires, make sure they are evenly worn. Minimum tread depth 1.6 millimeters. All the lug nuts should be tight. The rim has no crack, no damages. Hub oil is enough. Hub seal is present. Hub is secure. All the hub nuts are tight. 2 metal stamp caps are present. Same as here, exactly. But do not forget. Too tired and too old, eh? Do not forget the 2 bogey pins. The bogey pins, 2 on that side and 2 on this side. 1 here, 1 here. They both should be present and out. This way they are locked. Right, marker light is working. On this side, we have covered everything, but you can say that all my cross members are good. Floor, no damage, everything is good. Come in here, my placard holder is intact. My marker light is working. Right signal light for the trailer is working. Salute. Come in here. Right marker light is working. On this side, my landing gear assembly is intact, properly mounted, secure. Leg is straight. Foot has the play in it. Connecting rod is present. Now here, lots of people forget about it in a hurry. Need to talk about the right signal light of the truck is working. Because when we did the uncoupling, we only checked the four-way flash hazard lights. Right signal we did not check. At the same time, my brake lights for the truck is working. That's why we left the brake lights on. This all we have checked, covered already. Come in here, my right marker light is working. And now, lots of people forget about that marker light on the top of the trailer. That should be working too.
Where is it?
On top.
Oh, okay, guys, see it.
On top. Now, all this we have worked already. My fuel tank, properly mounted, secure, no damage, no leakage underneath. Both the straps are intact. Rubber is present in between so that there is no metal to metal contact, and the cap is tight. My storage compartment box is properly opening, closing. Hinges are all good. Right side of the truck body, no visible damage. Windows are closed. Stickers are present. My steps are properly mounted, secure. My right signal is working. Grab handles are properly mounted, secure, no damage. The door, passenger side door is opening, closing properly. Hinges are all good. Door is locking properly. The right mirror is properly mounted, intact, no damage. Lenses are all clean. The hood is latched. Right fender is properly mounted, no visible damage. Hood mirror is secure, no visible damage. Lens is clean. Yeah, that's a hitchhiking mirror. If you have it on your truck, you have to mention that it's all intact and no damage. Right signal is working. And now come in here. Both my high beams, because I turned them on when I was inside, both my high beams are working. So that's your all outside 360. The right signal is working. We already did discuss it. So that's your outside pre-trip. Now, air brakes check. The first thing is we need to make sure that our wheels are chalked. That's the first thing we need to do. If you start your air brakes check without the wheel chokes, you might get failed because the vehicle is not secured. At times we will be releasing both the brakes, so then it is more dangerous because the vehicle can move. So first of all, we need to make sure that the wheel chokes are in present. We can even see it from here, from the mirror. That's the first thing you need to do. Now, second thing, since you can see here, we are low on air. So first thing, we need to start the engine and press the RPM to 1200 so that we will have the air all the way up. See, the RPM here, 1200. That's the normal running RPM for the engine. This way, you will have the air built up. Open the windows. Too hot. Muy caliente. Mucha calor. Right? Once we hear the cutout sound, which will happen at 120 to 135, not necessarily, but I would prefer that go up to the cutout so that we can check the red button pop out and the low air warning. See, the gauges are still going up. We are at 110.
You have to start it and get it to 120 first before you start the trip.
Start the engine, go anywhere more than 100, that's good. But I'm just going it all the way so that when we press the red button, whatever air we lose, we still have more than 100 psi. almost up to the cutout. Okay, so in order to start the air brakes, there is the cutout. First thing you need to do is making sure the wheels are chocked. Then you press the red valve in. This way, the trailer brakes are released. Only the trailer brakes. Then, gonna turn the engine off and then bring it back to the on position so that we can see all the gauges working. Once we have done that, now we'll go outside and disconnect both the blue and the red cables. You're going to do that. Disconnect them and just put them over there and come back in.
When you do go outside, you
Are going down at anywhere between 40 to 60 psi or more. This red button will pop out automatically. That's the first thing we are checking. So keep on watching, the gauges are going down. On this truck, usually it pops out around 70 psi. So here it is, see? So 40 to 60 or more, the red button popped out. Now, second thing what we need to check is at 60 psi, where you can see those red marks. At 60 psi, your low air warning will turn on. It will only turn on if your ignition is on position. So if you press the brake a few times and let the gauges go down at 60 psi, see this one, primary is already at 60, that's why we have a red light. Secondary is less than 60, that's why we have a red light. That's your low air warning, which tells you that you have got the air low. So two things we have checked. Red button popped out anywhere between 40 to 60 or more, and the low air warning turns on at 60 psi. Third thing we need to check, what we call it, tractor protection valve. So for that, you pull the trailer brakes, hold it there for 2 seconds, and hear for any audible air leak. You don't hear any audible air leak, that means our tractor protection valve is working fine.
Can you press that one too?
Yes, you can press that one too, but
which one is?
yeah, but that one we had to install especially because of the insurance purpose. That's for the instructor, for me. When you guys are driving on the road and you do something wrong, I can at least have a brake, I can control. So don't use that. This is your trailer service brake. So you pull it for 2 seconds, wait and hear for any audible air leak. Now, next thing we need to check is the yellow valve pop out. That's the tractor brakes. So we push it in. Now, this yellow valve shall pop out automatically when these gauges are anywhere between 20 and 45 psi. So for that, we need to pump the brakes, and every time we are pumping it, the gauges are going down. Anywhere between 20 and 45, this yellow button will pop out. There it is. And you can see the gauges, 20 and 45, anywhere between 20 and 45. Every truck is different. Some trucks go very low, but if it is in between this range, 20 to 45, this is good. So we have checked 4 things, and these 4 things we checked when the engine was off and at on position. The brakes were pushed in one at a time, and the air hoses were disconnected. Now we have to check the next 4 things. For that, first thing, we need to go and connect both the air hoses, the blue and the red. Go connect it. Now we have to start the engine and keep it running at 1200 RPMs, and we will have to check 4 things. What are those 4 things? One thing is the same which we checked in our last 4 things, that the low air warning, it came on at 60 psi. Now when the air will fill up, as soon as we cross the 60 psi mark, both these lights and the buzzer will turn off. So that's one thing which we are checking. Second thing, we are checking our compressor's health. We'll run the engine at 1200 RPM and start measuring the time with your tachometer, or what we call it, stopwatch. So as soon as the first needle reaches at 50 psi, we started. From 50 to 90, it should reach under 3 minutes. So if it is anything under 3 minutes, our compressor is working good. After that, we'll still keep the RPM at 1200. And here for the cutout, the governor cutout, that should happen anywhere between 120 psi to 135 psi. Once we are done with the cutout, after that we have to check the cut in. So in order to check the cut in, it should lose 20 to 25 psi of air from where the cutout happened. So if the cutout happened at 120, let's say, then we need to lose the air up to 95 to 100 psi. So for that, we'll press both the yellow and the red valves. This way we will lose 20 to 25 psi of air, or maybe you can press the brake a couple times. And then once the needles are settled, you're going to press the RPM again at 1200 and watch. When the needles are going back up again, then that means the cut in is working. Normal conditions, 100 psi or more, we can stop and then continue on. But I usually like that you can keep on going up to the cut out and then turn off the engine. So let's check these 4 things. For that, you need to make sure that it's neutral, clutch in. Start the engine. Now, see that alarm you can hear? That's the low air warning with the lights, and you will hear that alarm. Now, we have to press the RPM to 1200 and watch those gauges. When any of the gauge reaches 50, you will start the stopwatch. Take the time from 50 to 90. It has to be under 3 minutes. Both the needles are moving. That means compressor is making up the air. Once we reach right here, we're gonna start the stopwatch. And now keep on watching that it has to be reaching at 90 psi in less than 3 minutes. As soon as both these needles reaches at 60, the lights will turn off, the alarm will turn off. See, this one is gone. The primary tank is over 60. That's why the low air warning off. Now the secondary will start to fill up. It's filling up. When it reaches 60, the light will be off, the buzzer will be off. There it is. At 60 psi, my low air warning turned off, so that's working perfectly fine. I'll keep on watching. When the second needle reaches 90, we can stop the stopwatch, and it has to be under 3 minutes. There it is. See, both the needles are at 90 psi now, so our compressor is working fine. We'll still keep the RPM at 1200, and we'll hear for the cutout. You'll hear that sound from the air dryer, and that will happen between 120 psi to 135 psi. There it is. You hear that sound? That's the governor cutout. Happened at 130 psi. So anywhere between 120 to 135, it's all good. So now it's almost at 135 psi. We need to lose 20 to 25 psi. That means if my needle goes up to 105 to 110, I am good to check for my cut in. For that, I'm gonna push both the valves in, and you can see the needles are going back, and see they are about 110 almost. If you want, just to be sure, press the brake one time. This way we are almost at 100. Anywhere between 20 to 25 psi lost, that's good. Now again, RPM 1200, and these needles should go back again, and we should wait for the cutout. When you are at 1200 RPM, now you can see the needles they already started to move back. Once you hear the cutout, take the foot off the gas and turn the engine off. Bring the ignition back to the on position. So this time what we checked, after connecting both the air hoses, we checked that the low air warning goes away at 60 psi. The compressor's health 50 to 90 psi in 3 minutes. The cutout happened at anywhere between 120 to 135 psi, and the cut in started when we lost 20 to 25 psi of air. Now, when we check the cut in, remember we pushed both these valves. That's there for a reason. Because now the next step, we have to check the system air leak. All the system if there is any air leak in that, and that's why we have to have the brakes pushed in. So now again bring the stopwatch out, and we need to give a full brake application, minimum 90 to 100 psi, and hold it there for 2 minutes minimum. In those 2 minutes we should not lose more than 6 pounds of air, 4 for the tractor, 2 for the trailer, and we should not hear any audible air leak. If there is any leak, then sometimes it's from the glad hand, so we need to fix that glad hand and then try it again, but we should not lose any air from there or from anywhere. So now we're gonna check the system leak test. So press and hold the brake. I can hear that the air is leaking from there because maybe
Okay.
let me go fix that. It's good. So now again try it. Still hear it. I can still barely hear it, but now it's all good. So now we have lost 6 pounds of air, 4 for the tractor, 2 for the trailer. Now we don't hear any audible air leak from outside, from the glad hands or from any brake chambers. Now we have to hold that brake for 2 minutes. In those 2 minutes, what I can do is I can do my in-cab inspection, starting from my seat belt. It's a 3-point harness seat belt. No twists, no cuts, no nothing, and it is properly latching and unlatching. My seat is adjustable. I can move it forward, backward from here, and it can go up and down. We are not using that because this way I will use the air. My steering can be adjusted, tilted up and down. There is city horn and the highway horn, but I'm not using the highway horn right now. We can check it later on, because if I use that, I'll be using the air. Yeah.
Okay.
No, don't pull it right now because
Yeah.
the air. All my gauges are working. My windshield is intact. No crack, no damages, no chips. My wipers are working. And if we need to clean it, we're gonna push it. That's how my windshield washer will come out and clean my windshield. My dash is all intact, no damage. My visors are all good. The gear shift is intact. I don't have any debris or any free flying object on the floor which can later on go into underneath my brake pedal, and there are no holes or no damages on my floor. We need to check the documents. They are inside there. Minimum 5 kind of documents: the registration, insurance, CVIP, safety fitness certificate, and the last one is my pre-trip inspection book. That's about it.
And the
So-
gauges?
Gauges, all the gauges are working. That's fine. One thing which also we need to check is my defroster. The defroster should be working. You can feel that all the air is coming from here. So my defroster is working fine. That's about it for the in-cab. All the switches I should know. 2 minutes are over. We did not lose more than 6 pounds of air. Now the next step we need to do is we need to adjust my automatic slack adjusters. In order to do that, we have to give 2 full brake applications and hold it there for 2 seconds. While I'm holding this for 2 minutes, I will consider this as my first brake application. Right after that, I will release it and give one full brake application more to adjust my automatic slack adjusters. So let's do that. Release it, push it back again, hold it for 2 seconds, and this way now my slack adjusters should be adjusted, but I will still have to go outside and physically check it. But before going outside, I need to make sure. Now it's all done, so we need to go outside and remove my chokes so that we will move the truck forward, and we will still have to check 2 more things: the foot brake and the trailer brake. But before that, I need to make sure that my brakes are pulled out. Then I'm gonna go out, remove my chokes, and then come back in, start the engine, put it into a gear, move it a little bit, just a little bit, and then press my foot brake that it is working, and then again move it and check my trailer brake that it's working. That's it.
And horn after that, can I check horn?
Yes, when you are moving, that time you can check the horn. Now you can check this. It's working.
Okay.
Okay, all good?
Okay.